and you walk up on a crime scene where the body has been disrobed, posed in a graphic sexual display, eviscerated, with internal organs removed, you're dealing with a complete different personality now.
Do they do most of that after they're finished with their sexual act, the posing, the
Yes.
eviscerating?
Yeah.
What is that about?
Okay. So the two specific types of behaviors that we look at as profilers to try to link cases together or understand personalities. One is MO, method of operation, which is typically the logical, rational behavior that an individual goes through during the commission of the crime to ensure their success, to escape, avoid identity, and incarceration. The other is this thing called signature. So MO, modus operandi, that behavior which is necessary to successfully commit a crime, logical, rational behavior. Signature aspect of a crime, we're now introducing an offender's personality into the crime scene, what their proclivities may be, or what they may be emphasizing in their fantasy life. It's unique behavior. It's that behavior which is unnecessary to successfully commit the crime.
Yeah, those two things seem like they'd be at odds with each other.
Completely. In fact, MO is all about avoiding detection. Signature requires the offender to spend more time, be more involved, take the chance, elevating their own risk level of being seen.
Yeah.
Or remembered if you have a surviving victim. But we talk about personalities. There are those things in our personalities that drive us instinctively to do things. Let's say an OCD type of personality. Individual is obsessive compulsive with certain types of behaviors. And they have to go through a lot in order to overcome those kinds of behaviors. But as a criminal is not interested in disciplining those behaviors. They're interested in engaging the behavior because of it's a creative force, a creative imagination that they experience while they engage in them. And there's all kinds of different types of signatures. One that I just described for you would be something that we refer to as a lust murder. And that is, it's beyond that which is necessary to successfully commit the crime. And they may engage in all kinds of bizarre types of behaviors with the victim after the crime has been committed, once deceased. They do something as simple as just pose the body in a graphic way and walk out.
And is that for them?
It
or
is.
the people? I was going to say, who are they doing that for?
Yeah, it's a bit of both because they know that there's somebody going to come and see this.
Yeah.
It's what we may refer to as their artwork. And it's a way that they extend their level of power and control, even to not just the audience who finds them, typically victims' families oftentimes, or friends, neighbors, but police.
Yeah.
They're leaving a message and a statement to the police as well. And some of them are not that sophisticated. They're not thinking about those kinds of things. They're just doing what's coming natural and what their creative force, if you will. So posing a body may be something. Overkill may be another signature aspect. So stabbing somebody 100 times versus 2 or 3 times to a mortal wound,
Mm-hmm.
So what is stabbing somebody 100 times? What's going on here? What's happening here? They're extending themselves, expressing themselves into the crime scene. Their levels of emotion and thoughts and feelings about this particular victim. Typically with overkill, what we call overkill, and that would be a signature, oftentimes it can be anything from, and that's why you have to look at the totality of the circumstances in the crime. What we refer to as the 10 filters of profiling, what I refer to as is a model that I created when I was serving as a profiler and teaching at the FBI National Academy. I go through this process of 10 filters, taking all the information of the crime scene, and filtering it down through 10 separate distinguishable areas. First is victimology. And then we move into original contact site between the victim and the offender. Where did it happen? Why were they there at that particular time? We have many, many questions, diagnostic questions that we review to understand those behaviors and why they did that. The crime scene, where the crime scene was. What's the crime scene look like? The recreation of the crime within that place and time. Physical assault. Sexual assault. And there's many, many different diagnostic applications that we go through in these processes in each of these phases. The area where the disposal site. Why did the offender take the victim to that particular disposal site? Is the initial contact site, the crime scene, and the disposal site all the same? Is it just the same location, or are they all separate? So now we start moving into, what does that tell me about the offender? How much experience do they have? The organized versus disorganized application of their criminal behavior. Does it tell me that they're experienced, or are they a novice? Are they in the beginning stages of committing these crimes, or have they been doing it for a period of time, and now we're talking about a serial offender who's practiced their art, if you will, and become very good at what they do. We look for the risk level that the offender puts themselves in when they commit these crimes, and then any information of the characteristics of the offender that witnesses may have seen. So when we look at all that, we have this MO versus signatures, another one of those filters. I would say that the more the likelihood of the presence of signature, in my opinion, is going to suggest that you have an individual that is a budding serial offender or is a serial offender who's just beginning in that serial nature, meaning that they're going to go out most likely and commit more crimes. Or does this suggest to me that they've committed crimes before and they've been engaged into it for a while?